Today is all about 7 simple ways to start your day off with ease, peace, and to tap into the beauty of life. So let's get started.
Welcome to the I'm Perfectly Divine podcast, a place for the strong, sensitive, spiritual seeker to recognize the perfection of your humanness. My work is to bridge both the emotional and spiritual worlds through proven and grounded frameworks that support you to live in the wholeness you already are. For over the past 2 decades, I have supported people from all around the world, as well as Fortune 500 companies, to dissolve the divisions within them and live with greater empowerment and love. This podcast is an exploration of the paradoxes that befuddle us as we live our lives being both human and divine. Together, you and I, along with other experts, will navigate integrating psychology and spirituality, the divine feminine and the divine masculine, the darkness and the light, to create greater sacred union from within. I believe through your remembering that you are innately divine, that you will allow yourself to more openly shine. So let's get to it, because your unique light is needed more than ever.
Hello and welcome, strong, sensitive, spiritual seekers. I'm so excited to have you back on the I'm Perfectly Divine podcast. And today is a powerful one because this is really the reminder that you are the creatrix, you are the creator of your life and your day. And what I want to share with you today are 7 simple ways that you can program your day, how you want to feel throughout your day through your morning routine. And I know we've all heard the power of morning routines, and then we go back to old routines of checking our phone first thing or hopping out of bed and getting right into output mode, where it's all about getting things done, making the bed, getting breakfast ready, and so forth. And really, the why this is so powerful is because it's simple and it can take just a few minutes of your time. And this is the way that we fuel our essence and again utilize our mind as something that we can program as to how we want to experience life. Now, it doesn't mean that we give 10 minutes to a morning routine and everything in our day goes seamlessly and there aren't any problems. But what we're doing is we are fueling our essence and helping our mind to remember how we want to go about living. And so, what I want us to take in for a moment is that when we hop out of bed and we go immediately into doing things or go to our phone, we are setting ourselves up to be in this reactionary defensive state rather than setting ourselves up to be the one who is able to direct how you want your energy to be throughout your day. And again, as a director of our life, we've got to be able to be flexible. Things happen that we weren't planning on, but this is the setup. This is the way that we are allowing ourselves to say, you know what, I am more than just the output that I do in a day. And so this really is the setup to remind ourselves that what we value is more than what our ego is trying to say that is what makes us worthy. By creating certain outputs, by getting the to-do list done, yes, we can be effective in our life, and I think more effective when we are at ease within ourselves, when we see ourselves as the director of our life, because we are fueling our soul to remember that our purpose in everything that we do, that we want it to come from our values, that we want it to come from greater love, that we want it to be a reflection of our true selves rather than the scattered, reactionary, overwhelmed self. And so this is something that I've encouraged clients to do for years. And it's like, I don't care how busy you are. I don't care if you have a young child. There is 5, 10 minutes that you can give to yourself each morning to start off your day. And doing so over the course of 30 days is going to make a huge impact in how you feel as you go about your day. And so it's like, if someone said, give me $1 and you'll get 100 back, it's the same idea here. Give me 10 minutes and you'll have the rest of your day feeling so much better. We want to be able to give this exchange for ourselves and to ensure or help ourselves as much as possible ensure that we are in alignment with what really matters to us. And at the end of the day, it's not popping on our phone and the emails from work or the news that we don't have as much control over versus our day and how we want to be in our day, despite everything that's going on, because we have programmed ourselves in a place where we are in remembrance of our power, of our truth, and the love that we are. And from that place, that's where we feel more and more limitless. And so today is about giving you 7 simple, really simple ways to start off doing this and to be in service of your essence. So again, this is really the best way to me to proclaim to ourselves and to our life that we are more than what our ego wants us to be and says that we need to be in order to be enough. That we are saying, I am enough and so valuable that I need to give myself this time to set up my day for how I want it to feel like and look like for myself. So let's start with the easiest way. Number one, how to do this is to give yourself a moment, 5, 10 minutes to reflect on the nature around you. So ideally, you could go out in nature, but if not, you can look out a window, you can have your cup of coffee or tea, and you can just reflect on the beauty of some aspect of nature around you. And why this is important is because we're training ourselves, first of all, to slow down and to be in awe of what is around us. And nature always brings out that ability of awe. Even if it's a rainy day, there can be awe about how the rain is dripping off the leaves or whatever catches your eye, that is meant for you to take in, that there's significance and guidance in where your attention is going because you've created this space to allow awe in by allowing nature in. So super simple. And coming from this lens of awe, coming from this lens of gratitude, what you are able to see, what you are able to take in around you is just the easiest, simplest way that any of us can do and give ourselves. And if we can't give ourselves that 5, 10 minute reflection in nature, that's where we want to ask ourselves, what am I believing is more important than myself, and my connection to the divine in this way? Because that in and of itself is a very important question. Now I get it. There's sometimes where there are other people's needs that come up, and it might get interrupted. But again, it's the intention. I can wake up at whatever time and give myself just a few extra minutes for this practice for myself so that I have this openness in my heart. Because think about when you are in that state of awe, what it does, it's that expansiveness of your heart. Now compare that to reading an email that's saying, I've got to do all this, or here's some more bad news that I'm dealing with, and how are we going to make it through all these conflicts in life, right? This is the expansiveness of the heart where possibility lies. And so we want to make room for that within the beginning of our day as a way to say, I am open to awe. I am open to possibilities. I am open and expansive rather than contracting, protecting, rushing. And then we wonder why we don't feel at peace, right? Simple, simple, and really powerful to do. The other thing that you can do is to tap into the feelings that you want to carry with you throughout the day. So you can close your eyes and you can envision and see yourself as feeling empowered, feeling open-hearted, feeling expansive, feeling that everything is possible, joyful, loving. You can just run through a list of these are the feeling states that I want to feel more of, and allow your body, especially your heart, to remember. So our heart, if we're looking at the seven chakras, we've got the lower chakras and the upper chakras. The lower ones are more aligned with the earth and how we are walking this earth and our humanness, and the upper ones are more aligned with our divinity and guiding us as our divine selves. And the heart's right in the middle. And the heart is this place that's guiding us to remember these feeling states that we want to have, knowing that we can recreate them. Now, I am not an advocate of saying, right now I feel angry and so I want to tap into the feeling of joy. Remember, every feeling is a signal guiding us. It's a GPS telling us when something's off so that we can make the appropriate course corrections in our life so that we respond to that anger rather than react to it. And that response is going to come from an empowered place. It's going to come from your inner wisdom. It's a skill that you build. As you tune into remembering what it feels like to be empowered in your body, in your heart, it's easier for you to come back to that place when you are also triggered, because you can hold then the both and that you're just not entirely this angry trigger, that you're able to see it from both your humanity and understand why you're triggered, as well as your divine self, which remembers that you always have a choice, that you have this expansive frame to perceive life from. So it's making these emotional states more accessible to you by helping your body remember, helping your mind remember that these states are a part of you. So number three, that was number two. Number three, we can embody these feeling states of power and health through exercise. Exercise is, to me, I mean, some people I know were doing it to look a certain way or what have you, but I think exercise, it becomes this spiritual and practice of our human selves, because it's an ability to move our body and be grateful that we can move it. And then to remember with our physical body how strong and empowered we are. To remember through exercise, through being able to move our body, that we are powerful beings and we are able to freely take movements, take forward movements in our lives. It programs you to remember your power and feel it, and the power to move, so that it's a remembrance that whatever our conditions are, we don't have to remain stuck. And when we move our body, we are helping ourselves embody these feelings of our power, expansiveness, health, vibrancy, aliveness, everything that we want to feel. We can feel it mentally and move that energy through our body and have it be like muscle memory as we move our body, and how good it feels to be able to be in this place of movement. Now, along with movement, we can move on to number four, which is stillness, and the importance of stillness for our minds, for our bodies. And so we can have a stillness practice just by allowing ourselves to be quiet, to tune inward to that place of nothingness. So sometimes we refer to this as meditation, right? But people get very worked up about what meditation is and how to meditate. And it's just really allowing the mind to gently be at ease as much as possible, that you're allowing in that space of nothingness. So that if there is something that wants to come through that's important for you to understand, that there's room for that. And so the meditation can be that I'm just going to allow myself this moment of stillness, whatever that looks like, even if it's just less thoughts, if it's just more quiet, that is meditation. That is the calmness that my energy is craving and that needs to be able to listen to any divine guidance that wants to come through you. And one of the intentions that I like to use when I meditate or when I step into a stillness practice is to light a candle, because it's that visual signal of like, this is sacred time for myself, but you don't need a candle. You can just create the sacred space by creating a place of quiet and reflection. And one of my favorite questions is, what does the divine want me to do with this day? Where am I being divinely guided? How am I able to use my talents and gifts that I've been innately given towards this day, towards the greater good, towards something that feels good, that lights me up? And so, very, very simple, allowing yourself stillness and just think, sit right there, just as we talk about it, the calm that is able to come forward if we don't make it a big, allow our egos to make it a big thing. Am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? That's your ego. It's just, here's a little bit of space. Here's a little bit of quiet. And that's all I need in order to give myself fuel to remember that I'm more than the ego's version of right and wrong and not enough and got to do more and all that. It's just the space. And so again, if thoughts come forward, it doesn't matter. It's just like, okay, and back to, what does it feel like to allow myself the freedom to be still, the freedom to have space? No right or wrong, just the allowance. And again, you can see with if you're not watching me on video, my gestures are all about moving my hands, open, open, open. And as we open our arms, we open our hands, our hearts automatically open to be able to receive. Now, along with that, number 5, we can turn to prayer. Maybe you have a prayer practice. I love prayer because I love to pray for others that I care about. I feel like it's a way to put energy towards those that I am thinking about, that is an expression of more expansive love. And so the tone, it for me is mostly about from and about love. It's an act of caring for others without them necessarily knowing it. But it feels important to share my energy with them. Like, I have been blessed with this love that I am able to utilize this energy in prayer for you, for your needs, for what is important to you, for the challenges that you are going through right now. Not from a place of like that I'm somehow superior and need to pray for you, but that we are all going through challenges, different challenges, and people may not, there may not be room to tell each of one of these people, every moment, every day that you're praying for them. But your act of sharing this love is something that is an opportunity to open our hearts to more love. Like, we just have this fountain of love that's just there is so much to give. So in through prayer and praying for others and their dreams and their visions and to help them get through their challenges, it just opens us up to the expansiveness of love. And that feels like an important piece. And then I will pray for support with my dreams, support for my vision. But to me, it's important to come not from a place of lack about this, but more from appreciation of how I have been supported and to keep that flowing. Like I'm so grateful for this and may that continue to flow into my life. If that's genuinely how I feel. Now, there are moments where I am just overwhelmed with sadness, overwhelmed with overwhelm, right? And then, yes, pray for your needs. That's what I pray for. I need help. I need intercession. I need guidance and asking for my spirit guides, my guardian angels, my spirit team to come in to have that support. And that is being able to come from that place of surrender where we don't have to do this all on our own. We can surrender when it's overwhelming and we can ask for help and then know that that help is on its way. And I know that we've all had experiences where it feels like we pray and nothing happens. And what I'll say is that it's still happening. It's just usually not in a way that we may want it to go, but that we are being impacted in a way that will ultimately expand our heart. So that's a whole nother podcast in of itself, but prayer is a simple way that we can open ourselves to the fountain of love that runs through us and with us. And whether we are praying for others or we are asking for that love when we are feeling so lost, so overwhelmed. 6 is grounding. This is the perfect thing to do when you wake up feeling anxious and feeling like there's too much to do. And this is exactly where your ego is going to say, I don't have time. And this is exactly when I make the time. So one of my daily practice is to ground myself with my feet on the earth. I live in Wisconsin, and the only time I don't do this is when there's snow on the ground. So even if it's cold, I can sneak my feet on the earth for just a little bit, and that's how important it is for me. Now, if I wake up feeling anxious, I go to my power tree. And you've heard me talk about trees before. I love trees, and I have a power tree. And this is the tree that I have formed a relationship with. I won't get into that. That's on a previous podcast. I'll try to link that podcast together to this podcast. But this, when you feel a connection to a tree, this is your ability to share energy. We don't just share our in breath and out breath with trees, we are sharing energy. And so we can have gratitude for a tree and gratitude that our tree is able not just to take our out breath, but to be able to take that which no longer serves us and help us ground it into the earth. And so it is a way to bring us relief and to take in the wisdom, the ancient wisdom, the earth wisdom that trees offer that are guiding us on how to be with the earth and walk as humans, remembering that we are cared for, that we are nurtured. So, grounding our feet to the earth um, and allowing our fears that arose to be emptied into the earth where they can be recycled and bring in the healthy energy that we need that will help us remember our truth. And then lastly, number 7, something that I personally love to do is to honor the directions and the elements. And this is more of a personal practice that reminds me that is important to me that I am a part of this universe, that I am made of the elements, and they are working through me as me. The elements are working through you as you. Water, earth, fire, air, the above, the below. It's all within us. And so when we can honor them, we are honoring ourselves, and we are honoring our multifaceted selves, our mystical selves, our magical selves. And that to me is a way that we can invite, and by honoring these elements that we are made of and that is all around us, to work congruently, to work together, to support our efforts here on earth. So, 7 simple ways. They don't have to take long. These are seriously 5-10 minute practices. But to me, this is the perfect example of what I talk about when I share about this sacred self, where there is a divine union of your empowered feminine and empowered masculine energies, because your empowered feminine wants you to do something to fuel your soul that reminds you that you are more than external outputs. And the empowered masculine is the aspect of you that shows up for yourself and your desires. And it's just like, no matter what, I'm committed. And so this is that divine union practice that supports our remembrance of the empowered aspects of ourselves, that brings beauty to the day to day, the beauty that is within you, that isn't about the external that we can get so focused on, but is the remembrance of who we truly are. So until next time, know that there is nothing to fix, just to remember.
I am so honored you have joined me today. If you enjoyed the I'm Perfectly Divine podcast, subscribe so you don't miss any of our power-filled episodes. Also, if you know another who is strong, sensitive, and spiritual and wants to dive deeper into emotions and ancient wisdom so they too can create profound peace and fulfillment from within, please share this podcast. Thank you again for joining me, and I look forward to reconnecting with you soon.